Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a massive shift happening, well, right under our noses. It's the story of how the internet is quietly splitting into two completely separate worlds. While you've been browsing and clicking, some of the biggest companies in tech, I'm talking Cloudflare, Coinbase, Stripe, have been building a parallel internet. But this version, it isn't designed for human eyes. It's being built for a whole new kind of user, autonomous artificial intelligence. So let's really dig into what this fork in the road looks like. And this really illustrates that split perfectly. On one side, you've got the human web, the visual, persuasive, clickable world we all know and use every day. But on the other side, you've got the agentic web, which is built entirely for machines. It's not about pretty layouts. It's all about structured transactional data and APIs for direct execution. This isn't just some redesign. It's a completely new foundation for a new kind of digital economy. Now, to be super clear, we are not just talking about smarter chatbots here. No way. The AI agents that are going to power this new web are a different beast entirely. You see, a chatbot reacts. You ask it about the weather, it tells you the weather. But an AI agent, it's proactive. You could task it with a goal, like continuously monitoring energy prices to buy low and sell high. It would operate on its own as an independent economic actor to get that job done. Okay, so how is this new web actually being built? Well, it all comes down to three fundamental pillars that are being laid right now: machine-readable content, programmable ways to get things done, and of course, autonomous payments. So let's start with that first pillar, content. The problem, as Will Brake from Exit AI puts it so well, is that our current web is just messy. It's a beautiful mess of HTML, ads, and pop-ups. It's designed for us, but for an AI that just wants the raw data, it's incredibly inefficient. And here's how companies like Cloudflare are solving that exact problem, right at the infrastructure level. It's pretty cool. With a feature like Markdown for agents, when an AI requests a web page, Cloudflare just steps in, intercepts it, and automatically converts all that messy HTML into clean, structured, machine-readable content. The agent gets exactly what it needs, the pure data without any of the noise. Right, so an agent can't just read information, it needs a place where it can actually act on it. It needs a secure environment where it can run code, use tools, and complete tasks without, blowing up the wider system. And that environment is literally being built as we speak. We're seeing secure, isolated sandboxes pop up from places like OpenAI and Cloudflare. We're seeing the rise of standardized skills that pretty much function like software libraries for AI. And there are even new web standards coming out that let websites offer tools directly to agents right inside the browser. Now, for agents to be truly autonomous, they need one crucial thing: money. And that brings us to the third pillar, payments. The solution here is fascinating. It actually involves reviving a forgotten piece of internet plumbing. There's a new standard called the X402 protocol, and it uses a long, dormant HTTP status code. The language browsers use to talk to servers, to let machines pay other machines instantly and programmatically. It's creating a native financial layer for the web itself. And listen, this isn't just a concept on a whiteboard. Not at all. Major players like Coinbase and Stripe are all in, building the financial rails for this machine economy. The X402 protocol alone has already processed millions upon millions of transactions, turning these AI agents from simple tools into actual independent economic actors. So, what happens when you put all these building blocks together? When you give software a wallet and the freedom to act, you unlock some incredible possibilities. But you also create a whole new class of risks that we've never, ever had to think about before. I mean, just pause and think about that for a second. This shift creates a type of software that has never existed before, one that can earn its own revenue, pay for its own resources, and accumulate capital, all completely separate from its human creator. That changes, well, everything. The security challenges here are profound, and they're entirely new. We're not just talking about old-school viruses. We're dealing with threats like prompt injection, where an attacker can hide a malicious command in plain sight. Or the confused deputy problem, where a really powerful agent gets tricked into becoming an unwilling accomplice in a digital heist. And this quote from CockroachDB just nails it. In a world of high-speed, automated financial transactions, the databases and the ledgers that guarantee everything is correct, they're not just back-end plumbing anymore. They become the primary risk control. They are the most critical line of defense against total financial chaos. But beyond security, there are these huge competitive risks. A company's existing power can create a really unlevel playing field. Take Google, for example.
Because website publishers basically can't afford to block its web crawler, Googlebot gets to see way, way more of the internet than any other AI. And that gives it this massive built-in data advantage for training its own systems.
So the big question is, how do we build this future safely? How do we stop this from just becoming a digital Wild West? Well, the success of the entire agentic web is going to depend on one thing: establishing trust. And that trust can only be built with really robust security guardrails. The core idea guiding this new security model is basically a form of zero trust. You don't treat the AI agent like a trusted employee who might make an honest mistake. Nope. You have to assume the agent can be compromised, and you assume it will be compromised, and you build all of your defenses with that in mind. And that means building these guardrails in from the absolute ground up. We're talking about programmable crypto wallets with hard spending caps, strict permissions that always default to read-only, network controls that stop data from being stolen, and this is probably the most crucial part, keeping the most sensitive things like the private keys that authorize payments locked away in secure hardware where the agent itself can never ever get to them. Look, the agentic web isn't some far-off sci-fi concept. It's being built right now, today, by the largest infrastructure companies in the world. And as this parallel internet comes online, it raises one of the most important questions for the next decade. How do we build a world where humans and autonomous software can coexist as equal, productive, and most importantly, safe participants in the exact same digital economy?